Coming up on AgweekTV, soybean growers are worried about the looming threat of a trade war with their biggest customer.
I'm Michelle Rook. I'll take you to a farm toy store you just have to see to believe.
And cocoa beans from farms all over the world come to this small Minnesota manufacturing company to be made into fine chocolate. Welcome to AgweekTV. I'm Rose Dunn. There's a growing fear about how a trade war with China will affect U.S. farmers, especially soybean growers, whose #1 export market is China. In fact, China imports more soybeans than all other countries combined. China is threatening to target the crops in retaliation for President Trump's $60 billion in tariffs against Chinese imports. It's an effort to protect American steel and intellectual property rights on electronics. Experts say it could put 300,000 soy farmers out of the market with long-term negative ripple effects. Monty Peterson farms near Valley City, and he's on the North Dakota Soybean Growers and American Soybean Associations and is currently vice chair of the U.S. Soybean Export Council. He's been keeping a close eye on the brewing trade war, especially since 70% of North Dakota's soybean crop, $1.5 billion worth a year, goes to China. So far, soy is not on the tariff list, but Peterson says if it's added, it would be devastating to American farmers. Peterson has been working hard on this issue and is going to China in mid-April.
The efforts it takes in order to build trade, to build relationships in other countries, in order to export what we have, they take time, they take a lot of effort. And if we disrupt that process, we would be naive to think that we could just flip a switch and be right back to where we were. Those are lost opportunities, and they don't come back easily. So we've got to think, along the lines that we need to protect our share.
China recently added $3 billion worth of retaliatory tariffs on a number of U.S. goods, including pork and fruit. Cargill is pledging to stand up for trade. The U.S. ag giant's vice president of global corporate affairs spoke to the Minnesota Grain and Feed Association about the potential for soybean and corn exports being collateral damage in a trade war with China. Devery Bufner-Vorwerk says the consequences of a trade war are very real, and retaliation against U.S. exports could make a very difficult farm economy even worse. It not only jeopardizes existing soybean exports, but also the potential for exporting corn to China for ethanol production. She urged farmers and ag leaders to take a stand for trade and against retaliatory tariffs.
We'd like folks to talk to their legislators and their policymakers about the importance of markets like China. China is an incredibly important market for U.S. exports of agricultural products, and quite frankly, our concern is that agriculture not get used as a quid pro quo, tit-for-tat food fight that goes on because there are other trade discussions happening between the U.S. and China.
Cargill recently launched an online effort called fedbytrade.com to tell the merits of trade as a driver of economic growth. A Wahpeton, North Dakota manufacturing company is now using soybean oil in its product. WCCO Belting will use the oil in its rubber belting, and as Kevin Wallivan reports, that's good news for soybean growers.
200 workers on 3 shifts are turning out belting products for farmers, construction, and industrial customers around the world. And today comes news the rubber used in manufacturing that belting will now be made with soybean oil instead of petroleum. The soybean grown and harvested by farmers here.
They play such an important role in our business as our ultimate end user customer to be able to take what they grow and put it back into a product that they're going to use on their machines is particularly satisfying.
And this is no minor market for the soybean grower. Belting like this, made in Wahpeton, is shipped to 24 countries around the world.
Our family business over the years, 64 years on April 1st, is built on innovation. Whether it's wood products, rubber products, fabric products, metal products, it's always been about innovation.
Colfax farmer Jay Myers is excited to see this. He sits on the United Soybean Board, where growers are witnessing countless uses for that little bean.
There's so many uses for it. We have feed that comes out of soybeans, and we've got the oil that comes out. And at one time, the oil was considered more of a byproduct, and now we're finding all these new uses for it.
In fact, Jay used belting made from the soybean oil during harvest last fall. the header on his combine humming along.
Sitting on the United Soybean Board is fun because we get to see these projects come through, and it's especially fun when we get to see them come to where we actually can use a product on our farm, especially you go out and you're harvesting soybeans with a product that's made from soybeans, and it works nice.
When shoe cobbler Ed Shorma started this company more than 6 decades ago in Wahpeton, he likely never envisioned soybeans from farmers right here would become part of the product headed out the door.
Soy checkoff dollars helped fund the research and promotion of this new rubber technology. North Dakota ethanol refineries are paying a premium for a certain kind of corn. Coming up on AgweekTV, we'll explain what makes it more valuable.
I'm 120, I'm 30, 130, 55, once around the block, 212 pipe right here, now I have them times up. So
if you're thinking about selling a piece of land, or you're looking to sell some farm equipment, or if you're thinking about a retirement or involved in an estate, give us a call. We'll sit down and tell you all about the Steffes way. We think it's a good way. That's how we approach it. If any of those are in your plans, give us a call or go to steffesgroup.com. Learn all about us. Hope to hear from you.
Small or large, Superior Grain Equipment has a storage solution for you with a wide variety of bin options and accessories, along with site planning and superior customer service. Plus, from top to bottom, we offer the industry's best bins and warranties to protect your products and your grain storage investment. Get superior quality, protection, and reliability with generations of experience and dependability. Make the superior choice today with Superior Grain Equipment.
Intelligent farming means more crop from every acre. That starts with smart machines and precision application. Introducing the new Rogator C-Series from Challenger, featuring a newer, smarter, more precise way to apply fertilizers and nutrients, more accurately and more efficiently than ever before, resulting in less overlap and less crop damage, all to make you more productive and more profitable. To find out more, contact Butler Machinery today.
Get your row crops off to the right start with an Early Riser Case IH planter from Titan Machinery. Case IH Early Riser planters feature high-tech yet rugged planter row units that quickly adapt to the toughest seeding conditions, while leaving an optimal seed bed to promote early, uniform plant emergence. Only Case IH Early Riser planters are designed to leave a flat-bottom seed furrow, ensuring consistent seed depth and even emergence. Contact your local Titan Machinery location today for more information on the next generation of planting technology from Case IH.
Advanced Grain Handling is your regional dealer for grain handler dryers, bins, and accessories. With Grain Handler's continuous mixed flow drying systems, you're capable of high levels of grain dryer efficiency on all types of grain, including seed grain. Advanced Grain Handling also carries West Steel's quality stainless steel products for on-farm and commercial grain storage solutions. Advanced Grain Handling has licensed and trained service techs and a licensed electrical shop. Get a hold of Chad Kylo to find the perfect solution for your farm.
AgweekTV Soy Insight, brought to you by the North Dakota Soybean Council.
Do you ever wonder where your soybeans go after you leave them at your local elevator? The North Dakota Soybean Council is accepting applications for the 6th annual See for Yourself tour of Portland, Oregon and the Pacific Northwest. The group tours shipping ports where North Dakota soybeans leave for world markets, and they learn about new uses for soy. Terry Ulrich grows about 2,500 acres of soybeans in south central North Dakota. He went on the See for Yourself tour last summer. He says it was a real eye-opener about how much grain is exported and how big the ports are.
The size of everything, you know, how big things are, those ports, and how they can come in and accommodate these trains coming into them and unloading them all the time, and it's quite the deal. It's more involved than you realize.
Part of the reason this program was created is to really give our soybean producers a look at how the checkoff is invested and why it's invested in programs beyond North Dakota as well. The majority of our soybeans are exported, and so there's an entire supply chain all the way from the elevators right here in our backyards and our hometowns in North Dakota out to the Pacific Northwest where the soybeans are loaded on the ships.
There's only room for 20 people, so if you want to go, you need to fill out an application by April 16th. You can find it at ndsoybean.org. 3 North Dakota ethanol refineries have worked to source large volumes of Enogen corn for 2018. It's a variety that includes an enzyme that helps convert starch to sugar, making it more valuable for ethanol production. Usually, refineries have to get the enzymes from a chemical company. Tharaldson Ethanol of Castleton, Blue Flint of Underwood, and Spirit Ethanol in Spiritwood are offering an extra 40 cents a bushel for Enogen. There's no extra cost for the seed, but NDSU ag economist Dave Ripplinger says there are likely logistics and separation costs and risks.
So how much time does it take a farmer to identify a separate field, to produce in that separate field, to keep that corn separate, to be stored separately on their farm most likely, and then to make those shipments of the Enogen corn from their storage to the refinery on call?
Enogen has been on the market since 2011. Fake organic grain imports are threatening to sink some U.S. organic farmers. That was a hot topic at the Midwest Organic and Sustainable Education Services Conference in Wisconsin. During a panel discussion, it was pointed out that the majority of fake imports appear to be going to large-scale organic dairies and some of the nation's largest chicken producers. American demand for organics has grown faster than enforcement, and as counterfeit grain floods the market, prices collapse and legitimate operations can't compete. Andy Allen was at the event to learn about transitioning his crop farm to organic grains, but he's concerned after learning about the fraud.
Fraudulent activity happens in every walk of life. We all deal with it on a daily basis, sadly, but I did not realize it was so heavily involved in agriculture. So that's definitely going to be a factor.
Anyone selling more than $5,000 in products and calling it organic must be certified. Coming up on Ag Week TV, cocoa beans from farms all over the world are coming to Minnesota to be made into fine chocolate. But first, a look at your agri-weather outlook for April.
Levosol is the most advanced nutrient efficiency solution, making phosphorus, zinc, and other key micronutrients more available to the plant. With 3 modes of action, it unlocks the nutrients in the soil. It makes the nutrients that it's applied with more available, and it is mobile in the plant for season-long activity. For more information, talk with your agronomy partner or visit wcdst.com.
Mayo Manufacturing, your Red River Valley source for Batco. Mayo Manufacturing, your Red River Valley Batco dealer.
Martinson Ag Risk Management offers a variety of crop marketing and crop insurance packages to our customers. With over 40 years of experience, our dedicated staff works hard to ensure you get the best advice on crop insurance, marketing, and risk management. Contact Randy or any of the staff at Martinson Ag Risk Management today at 701-205-4200 or visit us online at martinsonag.com.
Big Boy Toys.
This is Dennis Belisky reminding you we do auctions and we do them well. You've built your operation with hard work, and when it's time to sell, all or part, you deserve the best. Details from repairs and preparation to promotion and settlements are not routine. Chances are you'll only do this once, so we'll tailor an auction just for you and get it done right. On site at your farm or added to one of our highly successful Alaris Center auctions, we have the skill, reputation, and integrity to meet your needs with best-in-class commitment and quality service. Find us at resourceauction.com or call 701-757-4015.
A generally cold and wet March is finishing, and the month of April is starting with some intensely cold weather, and there's really no sign that the wetness is going to be letting up at all. Very cold start to the month of April. Not only is much of the Northern Plains region buried deeply in snow, or at least shallow snow, depending on the location, frost is fairly deep, And it's continuing to look cold and wet, so I don't really see much change coming to this. In fact, as we go through the first week of April, and maybe even the second week, many areas of the Northern Plains, upper Midwest will still have additional chances of snow. It is going to be a late spring. Not a record late spring. I don't see any evidence of that. But obviously at this point, not very many areas are going to be getting field work done early this year. To what do we have to thank this pattern? Hudson Bay. Big area of low pressure moved back into the Hudson Bay region. This is the same one that brought very cold weather Christmas and early January to much of the region. Well, it's back, and it's of course brought this cold weather down. Now the jet stream pattern will be gradually relaxing this week. The southern jet is active, and in the warm weather down south, showers and thunderstorms will pop up from time to time. By the end of this week, there'll be a little bit of subtle ridging in the west, which I think will get temperatures into the Northern Plains a little less cold, but I don't see it really getting anything that you would call warm. It will remain below average, it looks like, probably going out the next 2 weeks. And if we continue to get snow, that's not going to help either. This particular week, a couple of little, mostly quick systems going by, and these are tricky to forecast, but there will be more than one, maybe 2 or 3 snow chances, each one probably generating narrow swaths. Showers and thunderstorms in much of the same areas down south that have been getting it, and the Pacific Northwest will be in and out of substantial rainfall. As we get into the second week now, this will be the week starting April 8th, it looks continued cold and wet. In fact, I see a deep trough building somewhere in the nation's midsection around the middle, from around April 10th, 11th, 12th, and that would likely generate the potential for a very heavy wet system or two. Maybe a lot of rain, but there could be some snow around the northern western peripheries, and I cannot say exactly where that will be. Just keep in mind, more cold, wet weather for some is likely, and of course, the wetness continues the cold. As that trough of low pressure deepens, much of the Great Plains will turn rather chilly. The really frigid temperatures, though, will remain Canadian. I don't see too many more ventures of that. So the month of April starts out with very cold conditions. Not only do we have more chances of precipitation, but much of that is coming in the form of snow. So a cold, wet first couple of weeks of April, guaranteeing a late start to spring planting across a large part of the Northern Plains region. There are signs the second half of the month will be better.
Stein Seed Company is home to one of the most prolific, highest-yielding corn and soybean breeding programs in the world. When it comes to research, yield is what matters most. With the largest private soybean breeding program in the U.S. and the industry's most aggressive corn research, Stein is in a class of its own when it comes to developing new, higher-performing seed. Choose genetics. Choose results. Give Shane Kylo a call at 701-866-9864 to learn what Stein Seed can do for your operation.
When the water's high and your yields are low, 'cause your fields have no place for water to flow, just one call takes care of it all. Call on Field Drainage Incorporated. Call on Field Drainage Incorporated. Call on Field Drainage. The experts in the field.
Luckin Trucks and Parts sells quality used parts for all makes and models. With over 50 acres of trucks and parts and new inventory arriving daily. Family owned and operated since 1966, Luckin's specializes in the sale of quality used medium to heavy duty truck parts as well as pre-owned trucks, trailers, and construction equipment. If it's on a truck, we got it. Call us today and let us get you your part.
Micro Essentials is a unique product in the sense where it's a homogenized product that has 4 nutrients in every single granule. What makes it different than other products that are out in the country? So it has 4 different nutrients: nitrogen, phosphorus, sulfur, which is 2 forms of sulfur, and zinc in every granule. We're seeing multiple things. We have sulfate sulfur and elemental sulfur. The sulfate sulfur, we get the bulk of the use of it the first year. The elemental breaks down over time. I've had farmers come up to me and tell me that they not only see the benefit the first year in higher yield or higher quality, but they're seeing it in consecutive years. So it's a huge benefit for the grower to use it on a consecutive basis. Our overall goal is to increase our farmers' yields and help them produce a higher quality and higher yielding crop. It's giving them the opportunity to get more nutrients in one. It makes sense agronomically, it makes sense economically.
It just wouldn't be Easter without chocolate eggs and bunnies. But for one small Minnesota business, chocolate season really gears up in November and runs until Mother's Day. Kristen and Josh Mohagan make artisanal chocolate from beans grown all over the world. We recently had the chance to visit with them about the process from beans to bars.
Cocoa beans come in the garage and process and then out the front door, so there's a nice flow to everything.
The Mohagans were inspired to start the company in 2013 when they were on their honeymoon in Napa Valley. They were fascinated with the concept of terroir, the way the land, climate, and growing conditions affect the flavor of wine.
And we learned that it's the same with chocolate. The cocoa beans take on the flavor of the land, and it happens with coffee, it happens with a tomato, but I'd never heard of it with chocolate.
The beans come mostly from Central and South America, Haiti, the Dominican Republic, and Madagascar. That variety is reflected in their bars.
Of our origin flavors, our Belize is our most popular, although our Finca Helvetia from the Dominican Republic was a silver medal winner in the International Chocolate Awards just last year.
Like grapes, the cocoa crop varies from year to year, and that means the process varies with each bag of beans.
Scientists are saying that there's more flavor profile to be experienced in a cocoa bean than even a grape with wine.
Turning beans into chocolate can take anywhere from 5 to 13 days. It starts with size sorting with the help of some repurposed soybean equipment.
1950s clipper fanning mill. And my grandpa had this. He used this for soybeans every year on the farm, and so he's pretty proud that we're making use of it today.
Then the beans are roasted.
Anywhere from 15 to 35, 40 minutes. Depends on what bean we're looking at and what flavor profile we're shooting for.
So I'll taste these throughout the roasting session.
When the beans are ready, they're shelled.
Husk and nib together, and we pour them into this winnowing machine to separate the cocoa nib from the husk.
Then the cocoa nibs are put into a grinder, where they'll turn for up to 7 days.
The time allows the volatile acids that are in the cocoa bean. A cocoa bean is fermented, so there's a lot of that sharp flavor, and through roasting and through this open air movement of the chocolate, it helps minimize those.
Then the chocolate is tempered to give it the desired shine and snap.
Otherwise, it's a crumbly product.
And finally, it's poured into molds, cooled, and packaged. It's all done by hand by the Mohagans and 2 part-time employees. You can buy terroir chocolate in several stores in Fargo, Fergus Falls, and the Twin Cities. Check their website for locations or to order online. Besides their award-winning chocolate, they also produce toffee using Minnesota maple syrup. Still ahead on AgweekTV, we'll take you to a toy store that will make anyone feel like a kid again.
Advanced biofuel for America's diesel engines is clean burning and made from renewable sources like soybean oil. Biodiesel fuel works in any diesel engine, reducing emissions, helping us breathe cleaner air. Biodiesel adds value to North Dakota soybeans, creating jobs, improving the environment, increasing our energy independence. Biodiesel, it starts with soybeans, it's fueling America.
Get ready for the biological revolution. AgZyme by Ag Concepts is the leading biological soil enhancement product on the market today. AgZyme improves soil health and fertilizer efficiency for healthier crops and better yields.
Definitely is making a difference. I really feel that it gives me a bump in the soybeans and corn. I would say 55 up to 70 bushel soybeans. We've even had as high as 75. Probably the best bang for your buck.
Join the biological revolution with AgZyme by Ag Concepts.
Upgrade your trailer to electric with the Rolltech electric system from AgriCover. Strong, flexible pivot arms and motor mount rotate and telescope, allowing the roll tube to rise and flex over heaped loads. The positive automatic lock is impossible to back off to control the flow of grain. This integrated system uses one wireless remote to operate up to 10 tarps and hoppers, keeping your driver out of the dust, rain, and harm's way. See the Rolltech system in action at an AgriCover dealer near you.
Where do you go for the latest news in agriculture? AgWeek magazine. Reaching over 70,000 farmers and ranchers in North Dakota, Minnesota, South Dakota, and Montana. AgWeek provides the most up-to-date information on the markets, the trends, and the people who make it all happen. We're your source for news, not fluff. Dependable, trusted. AgWeek. Subscribe today by calling 1-800-811-2580.
I'm Jenny Garth, and as a mother of 3, I know kids worry about a lot of things. Getting enough food to eat shouldn't be one of them. But here in America, that is a real worry for 1 in 5 children. This is unacceptable, and something Feeding America is working to solve. Through a nationwide network of food banks, Feeding America serves virtually every community in the United States, including yours. See how you can help your community. Visit feedingamerica.org. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're Feeding America.
If you like farm toys, Lamar's, Iowa is the place to be. The Northwest Iowa town is home to a huge farm toy store. The inventory numbers in the thousands and includes every brand of farm toys you can imagine. But as Michelle Rook found, the real story is the memories these toys make with young and old alike.
I'm here at the Lamar's Toy Store, which is likely the largest, most diversified farm toy store in the country. This store is truly one you have to see to believe, with tens of thousands of pieces in every make and model.
We talk about everything from custom to general toys, from 16 to 64 to restoration.
He has a team that works on the custom pieces that often become heirlooms for families.
They want something that looks just exactly like they got and goes in the glass showcase. It gets passed from one generation to the next generation.
This farmer and toy enthusiast started the store 22 years ago and has built a clientele that spans the globe.
Some of them have several thousands of pieces and stuff like that. They're always looking for something unique or something new that just came out.
More than 2,000 people attend the annual Customer Appreciation Days in March, with many driving hundreds of miles.
Pennsylvania, New York, Texas, Canada, I guess you just want to say all over the United States.
Schultz also works with nonprofit organizations on fundraisers and supports terminally ill children and hopes to leave a legacy of helping people through the store. In Lamar's, Iowa, I'm Michelle Rook reporting for Ag Week.
To celebrate National Ag Day on March 20th, Ag Week asked readers to send in their best farm, ranch, or rural photos for a contest. We received dozens of great pictures, and here are your 3 favorites. First place is Renee Schultz of Cullum, North Dakota. Second place is John Barch, taken near Climax, Minnesota. And third is Taylor Thompson. The winners receive a gift card to Fleet Farm, $100 for first place, $50 for second place, and $25 for third place. Thanks to all who entered. Thanks for watching this week's edition of Ag Week TV. Remember, for all your ag news, go to agweek.com and be sure to follow us on Facebook and Twitter as well. Happy Easter, and we'll see you next week.